What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am here today with the review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 2, episode 19, and I believe this was the season finale. And the episode was titled Blaque in Business, you guys. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode review, shall we? All right, you guys. So, the episode, you know what? We're going to talk about Mel and Martell first, and then we're going to move over to the Blaque soft opening. So we see Mel. So Mel is doing a photo shoot with the kids. I saw the pictures on Instagram. Beautiful photos of her and the kids. So she is, after that whole confrontation with Martell last week, she's just ready to just be her with her kids, and I'm here for it. I will talk about her interview with Funky Dineva in this review, but I'll talk about it a little later. So Destiny comes down, and here's a question that I've had all season. Where is Blaque at? I know his name is Jbarrett, but where is he at? We haven't saw him at all. Excuse me, y'all. So Mel is telling Destiny about the confrontation with Martell, how it was not good, and how she's basically just done with him at this point, which she should be. I just really want Mel to stop giving him the attention that he's asking for, because that's really what it is. Martell is just asking for attention. So once again, about him actually we might as well go ahead and talk about it now, because he keeps talking about the fact that she's not pleasing him. Actually, we will wait until we get to him. So, Mel says that she's good, but I feel like she is good. I'm not saying she's not good, but I don't feel like she's 100% good, because this is a marriage, you guys, because what she said that they had been dating since 2007, which is about 14, that was 14 years ago, because that's when I graduated high school. So I don't think that she's completely, good, but I think she's getting there. I think she's just trying to get to know herself at this point, which is totally a good thing for her. So then we see Martell. So Martell goes to talk to Dr. Francis. And Dr. Francis said that Martell has called him. And when Dr. Francis reaches back out to Martell, he doesn't answer the phone. And it was in that moment I was like, I see what Martell's issue is. Excuse me, y'all. Martell's issue is he wants someone, excuse me, that's not the corona. Martell wants someone to agree with him even when he's wrong. That is his issue. That's his need to be right in every situation. That's what it is. So we start talking about Martell, and I know they were using orange as an analogy, but at some point the orange got on my nerves. He was talking about the first orange he was talking about was Aryan. Then the second orange was Mel. I guess he was trying to say he was doing his thing with Aryan. He fell in love with her, I guess. In a nutshell, Martell really just wanted his cake. He wanted to, screw Aryan on the side, and he wanted to have his family and his marriage with Mel. That's really what it boils down to. Martell was greedy. He wanted both of the women. If he could have had them both together, that would be perfect for him. But what he wanted was to be married to Mel. Mel be like, okay, I know that you're going off to sleep with her, so that's fine. In what world, unless you are in an open marriage, that's the only way that that's going to work out, is if your partner is okay with that. But Mel is not okay with that, so you were never going to get what you wanted. And even with him now being divorced from Mel, I don't think he's getting what he wants, because I don't see him marrying Aryan. If she does marry him, she's stupid, but she's already stupid enough. So, and we're going to talk about that, how stupid she really is. So, Martell wants to talk about what he wasn't getting from Mel. Now, in the interview with Dineva, because people, I know people have been in my comments saying, Mel said she never sucked dick before. She wasn't a dick sucker. Well, in the interview with Dineva, she said she has done it. She said she's done it. It just wasn't an everyday thing with him, which I figured that it was. I figured if she did do it, it wasn't an everyday thing. And that's what I kept saying. That's what I had been saying in my reviews. I was never saying for her to, I wasn't even advocating for him. I was just saying if, which, and if that was something that he wanted in a marriage, and what I was saying was if it was something that he wanted and you had done it, like, why not make a compromise? That's what I was saying. Compromise. Because we do things sometimes that we necessarily wouldn't do otherwise. We compromise things. But she did say in the interview with Dineva that she had done it. It just wasn't an everyday thing. So I'm assuming when he got with Arian, it was just every time he come over, she immediately falls to her knees and starts sucking his dick. And nothing's wrong with that. If that's what he wants, if that's what she wants to do, and he likes it, nothing wrong. But then we go back to him. You can't expect Mel to do what your side piece is doing. And I wish these people upstairs would sit down. You can't expect Mel to do what your side piece is doing if you guys have been in this marriage for. And then she said she didn't find out about this woman until 2017, but y'all have been together at that point for 10 years. So I don't know where things went bad, because if she was doing it, then where did things go bad? Martell just wanted to step out on the marriage. That's really all it was. Like, he can say whatever he wants to say. He just wanted to step out on the marriage. So then after his, his session with Dr. Francis, he's in the car and Arian calls. Listening to this woman talk, I'm like, God, I knew she was stupid, but I didn't know she was that stupid. So he's telling her he went to Dr. Francis, and he told Dr. Francis everything. She said, did you call me another peasant? I can't get with her about that. I just cannot understand for the life of me. This man called you a peasant on national television, and you still continued to sleep with him unprotected and got pregnant by him. But he called you a whole peasant on television. You're not gonna disrespect me like that. I don't give a damn if you were trying to repair your marriage with your wife. You're not finna disrespect me on television and call me out of my name. You're not gonna call me a bitch. You're not gonna call me a hoe. You're not gonna call me a peasant. You're not gonna call me anything. If you don't call me by my name, because that's the only thing you're gonna call me by is by my name, you're not gonna disrespect me and then think that I'm gonna continue to sleep with you and do the things that you like me to do. It's not gonna happen. So then they're talking about the baby. He says, if the baby's mine. I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, so what you want, Martella? A DNA test? He says, well, why not? I'm like, girl, you are even dumber than I thought you were. So not only has he called you a peasant on television, he just called you a hoe. He just straight up, he called you a hoe to your face, but you still with him. You know what? They deserve each other. They deserve each other, period. Let's move on, because I'm tired of talking about those two. All right, you guys, so this soft opening for Blaque, the dress code, they were really fancy. They were fancy. But it is what it is. So we see Martell shows up, and he's talking to Marceau and Tisha, and he apologizes to Tisha about the way he said to Wanda, which that was big of him. But I'm actually with I'm with Marceau. You can apologize. That's one thing. Actions speak louder than words. So they made a joke about his mama and Wanda being cool. I didn't know that. I don't know how she could be cool with that woman after she talked about her grandkids, but whatever. That ain't got nothing to do with me. So then we see Nell and Chris show up, and they're talking about what happened with Mel and Martell at their crib. Even Nell said, hey, the things that you were saying to Mel, very rude. Like, I would have, if it was me, I would have threw the table at you. Exactly. Throw a table at him, throw the glass at him, choke him, do whatever to him. I was with Mel in last week's episode. So then Tisha wants to chime in. I'm like, Tisha, shut up. I just want her to shut up so much, so badly. Like, she's talking about, what did she say? She was talking about some, basically, if you should be able to speak your truth. That is true to an extent. If you are having a heated back and forth conversation with someone and you guys can't come to a common ground, common meet anything common. There is no point where they can agree to disagree, Tisha. He's trying to put this whole situation on Mel. So, I mean, speaking your truth is one thing, but speaking lies is a different thing. I'm so glad that Marcel says, no, you shouldn't. Especially when it comes to these two. He's not speaking truth. He's speaking lies. That's it. That's where we want Tisha to shut up at that point. So yeah, I've already talked about the fact that everybody was dressed up. So we see Kimmy and Murray show up. We saw, who else showed up? Destiny was there minus LeBuick. Jalen was there because it was his first night as GM. Who else was there? I know that I saw in the background Sadarik and his wife, but they never made mention to Sadarik. So Sadarik was there, and I'm missing somebody else, right? Oh, Mel and Marcus showed up. So Tisha pulls Mel to the side. So she says, Mel, after the last event that we had, things ended really badly and they were on me. And Mel was like, how did this come about? And they showed a flashback of Marcel talking to her. She says, it was my comment that made things go bad. So I take accountability for that. You were speaking your truth and you came to me, ready to be vulnerable. And I just came with I said BS and that just threw the conversation left, which it did. So for that, I apologize, Mel. I just want to leave the past in the past. Like, I don't want to bring up the past no more. We've heard this plenty of times from Tisha before, so we shall see what season 3 looks like. Because Tisha has said this more than once, and I'm with Mel. Let's take it with a grain of salt. But she apologized nonetheless. So Marcel and Jalen comes to get Marcel about 4:45 so they can do a big reveal. So they go outside for the reveal. I'm going to give Marcel credit for Blaque, the cigar lounge. Great idea. It's not something that I'm interested in. I'm not the type of person who likes to go to a restaurant where people are smoking and eating. That that smell. I don't care if it's weed. I don't want no kind of smoke around me when I'm eating my food. So good idea, just not for me. So then they do a reveal of a mural. And the mural just had all the boys on the mural. And their sister was standing behind the mural, but I'm like, but she's not on the mural. And I was with Mel and Destiny. You could have put your sister on there. But he is sexist. He is a little bit sexist. That he is. But, great idea. His father told him to have a legacy, you got to start one, which is true. But I just don't know why y'all didn't include your sister on their legacy, but whatever. Maybe she cool with it. I wouldn't be. Y'all my brothers. I'm part of this family, so why am I not on this mural, but whatever. So then we see Marcus. So Marcus pulls Martell to the side. And Marcus is talking to Martell about the last conversation that they had. Marcus is like, my whole thing was not to attack you, to make you feel attacked. My thing was to say, so that you could see what you and my sister are doing in front of the kids. Maybe you guys need to do something different. And I'm like, exactly. I think a lot of us have been saying that Mel and Martell, neither one of them are without fault when it comes to them fighting in front of the kids. That's one thing. I know Mel doesn't want to fight in front of the kids, but, and I have to say but, I know she doesn't want to fight in front of those kids, but you let him take you there. That's the problem that I do have. Mel allows Martell to take her there. Once Mel takes the power back and stop allowing him to get to her, because the first time it was at the house when they were arguing about her not sucking his dick. Every time she allows him to go to her, and she just needs to stop doing that. Once she takes the power back, he'll eventually stop, and you guys won't be arguing and fighting around in front of the kids, because the kids were there at that house. So now here's the funny thing. So I didn't watch the live that Martell did with the kids. I know people have talked about it, and they said that the kids look very coached and coerced into saying what they were saying about Marcus calling them retards, whooping them, and things like that. I have an issue with that. That's my issue with when it comes to both. Well, I'm gonna say Martell, because I'm not gonna put Mel on this. This is on Martell. My issue with him is, why are you dragging your kids in this? Leave the kids out of this. This is between you and Mel. And then you and then you want to paint her out as a bad mother. If Mel was such a bad mother, why did you have not one, not two, but 4 kids with her? If she's such a bad parent, why have 4 kids with her? After the first one, if you see that she's not a good mother to the first one, don't add number 2. Number 2, she can't be, if she's that good, damn. Why did y'all have a second child? Then y'all added a third one? And then you added a 4th one. Make it make sense. If she's that bad of a parent, you got 4 kids with her. 4. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. So she's not a bad mother, so I want him to take that out. So he says he has no issues with them being around Marcus, right? But that video says otherwise, right? And then, if you guys notice, in one episode, he said that Marcus has not always been around, but he said that Marcus has been around, they've been around him for 13 years. So if you guys ever pay attention, Martell lies. He's a pathological liar, and he's not a good one at that. So I don't know what to believe when it comes to Martell. I don't believe that Marcus called the kids retarded. I don't know. Now, as far as the whooping, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't see the video, so I can't speak on if the kids looked coached or not. You guys can tell me if you guys watched it in the comment section below. Now, here's where Martell blew my gasket. So Martell's talking about he wants structure in the kid's life. That's fine. But he's talking about structure of husband and wife, not husband and husband, which what Troy is to Marcus. My issue with you about that is, nothing's wrong with, if you don't want your kids, no parent, I don't think any parent would really want their kids to be gay, dealing with what gay, lesbian, trans people go through in this world. I don't think any parent would want that for their kids. But if their kids end up being gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans, whatever, they support their kids. So I'm not going to take away from him saying he doesn't want that for his kids, because I'm not going to take away from that. But I do have an issue with him saying that it's not right. It's not right to you. But what else is not right, Martell? Oh, that's right. Getting married and having an affair. That's a sin just like any other sin. So we're not going to make it out like one sin is worse than the other. And you're talking about what you don't want your kids, or what you don't want your kids to see or be. Do you want your daughters to get married to a man that'll treat your daughter the way that you treated their mother? Oh, and then your son. Do you want your son to do the same thing that you're doing to his wife? Like, you're a contradiction. So Mel comes over and she asks what's going on. And I was like, oh God, why did Mel come over? Because this is going to be an argument. And lo and behold, it was an argument. So once again, Martell just wants to continue to blame stuff on Mel. And Mel's like, what did I do? Like, you're the one that stepped out on me. Exactly. I think it's just his need to be right about everything. That's really what it is. It's really his ego, and it's his insecurities. Because that's one thing that I picked up when he was with Dr. Francis, which I forgot to mention. When he was talking about the fact that Mel didn't tell him that he looked good, I'm like, oh, so that's your ego and that's your insecurities. So you must have been ugly as a kid. That's just what I gathered from him. You must not have been the most attractive young man when you were growing up. I'm pretty sure, well, he did have messed up teeth, which they weren't that bad. His teeth weren't perfect. He probably was skinny and scrawny, probably had big ears like I do. But as you got older, you started working out and everything, and you got muscles, so you feel that women should just be like, oh, damn, Martell, you fine as hell. It's that ego. It is that ego. It's that ego. So yeah, back to the foundation part. So a good foundation for your kids is to show them that, hey, you get married, be with your wife, then go get a side chick and get her pregnant. Is that the foundation you want for your kids? But I just don't get how he can say everything was right with him and Mel, but you cheated on her. And then he had the audacity to call her a hoe. Used a hoe. But that's the episode, you guys. I really don't have much else from Martell. That's about it. If you guys want to talk, let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell button so you guys are aware of when I drop anything else and share this video. And into the next one. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, wear your mask, and social distance, and subscribe to the Planner channel. And I'll catch you guys later on for Real Housewives of Atlanta and Married to Medicine. Bye, guys.